Hey everybody, Soupy1957 here, doing guitar reviews. So far we've done the EJ200 by Epiphone, the AJ500 by Epiphone, and I'm about to review the Epiphone Hummingbird. This one I bought, again, as in the case of the EJ200, the AJ5, and now the Hummingbird. Gibson has comparable models that all are thousands of dollars, $2, $3, you know. But in each case, Epiphone has come out with a product that, as you know, of course, Epiphone is owned by Gibson. They were bought by Gibson in 1957, and they, in my opinion, were a strong competitor to Gibson. And if they hadn't had some of the internal trouble that they had when the Sons took it over, they would be still to this day a strong competitor. And you know, the fact that Gibson owns Epiphone, there's a few things that are assumed. One is that their material sources are relatively similar, that their QA procedures are relatively similar, that they've done the kinds of things with Epiphone that they do with their own product. And once again, here in the case of the Hummingbird, we have a replica of what Gibson produces for a couple of thousand. In this case, you see the bright reddish sunburst design, and of course the same type of pick guard and so forth and so on. In the neck, the inlays that you would see on a Gibson, only again, this is an Epiphone. It does have the Grover tuners that are encased as opposed to being exposed, which is a positive. This one came in through mail order, and I won't mention the source because it's not necessary. The point, you know all the sources out there. You know that there's Guitar Center, there's Musician's Friend, there's Sam Ash, there's Harmony Central, there's all kinds of places. So, you know, wherever you get one, you get one. Usually I like to go in and try to, sit down with a half a dozen instruments in the back room where they have it all soundproofed and play them. This one I didn't have the opportunity to do that, and I decided I would, since I had such good luck with the AJ500 and the EJ200, I thought, well, let me pick this up through the online. The only thing I would say about this in a negative way is that the strings are a little bit high as you work your way up past the 7th fret. This could use a little bit of setup. I don't usually do too much in the way of setup. I've gone in with a wrench and I've done the truss rod on a guitar or two. I did it on a 12-string I owned. I did it on the FG350W that I owned. This could use perhaps a little raise to the nut up here, and perhaps a little drawback on the bridge down here on the lower bout. But other than that, it's not a bad instrument. It once again is a case where Epiphone has produced something that's fairly good quality. This, by the way, I gave this one to the wife. She had bought an FG700, which was a very bland looking guitar, had no flair, and it was a Yamaha, and I wanted to get her something that had a little nicer look to it. So I bought this one with the intent that she might like this as a substitute for the FG700. So that's what this is. This is her guitar. This has kind of more of a muted sound. It doesn't seem to come out the front and bellow. It doesn't seem to bark. It's in there, but it feels like it's being muffled by the back of the guitar, like the sound is all rolling around inside the body and isn't really coming out. Would I promote this guitar as opposed to an AJ200 and an AJ5? I'd much rather you went and got an AJ5 or an AJ200 for the fact that the sound doesn't seem to really project out of this like I expected it to, and also because there were some setup issues. To me, it's the exception and not the rule with Epiphone. Perhaps I could take this down, and I probably will take it down to my local luthier and say, do me a favor, adjust the action, and that's about all I'll do with it. You can't do much about the bark, short of changing the wood, but then you're building a new guitar, right? Anyway, this is the Epiphone Hummingbird. With elixir strings, by the way.